everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Stella Gray here with Loki. Loki, shake it, Loki. Okay, this is Loki, my baby. Anyways, today I'm actually going to talk about some more paranormal stuff, just as I did, I think, in my second and third video. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, because I am going to speak about the Hatman, I have previously spoken about the Hatman before in my other paranormal videos, so if you don't know what I'm talking about at any point in this video, or you don't understand some of my experiences or my story, then please go back and watch those videos so you can be updated and so you understand what I'm talking about, and then come back and watch this one. Anyways, the top Hatman is a black mass shadow person that that has appeared all throughout the world and haunted people all throughout the world. There have been several cases of the Hatman. In fact, as you guys know, I've had experiences with the Hatman, and I'm going to actually read a story from well, not really a story, just a brief breakdown of who the Hatman is, from demonicpedia.com. So if you need to go and fact check me once again. So the Hatman is a shadow person or demon, depending on your source, that has been reported all over the world. The entity is usually described as a tall shadow man dressed in a long black trench coat and wearing a wide-brimmed hat or a fedora. He is distinctively male, and witnesses say that he has no face or a shadowy, blurred face. Most shadow entities are usually seen for a moment or two before disappearing, but the Hatman seems to be different, often staying for a prolonged period of time, and sometimes he even touches, chokes, or assaults his victims. Another aspect of the Hatman that is eerie and more sinister than other shadow people is that the Hatman is often associated with hostile environments, aggression, and sometimes an indicator that something evil will happen. Here is what the Strange Accounts website has to say. This seemingly dark presence is known to cause or be attracted by hostile environments and aggressive behavior. Those who see him are often witness to domestic disturbances and family breakdown, noting a tangibly negative atmosphere, sense of dread, or hopelessness. For this reason, many have labeled the spirit a demon, an intelligent haunt capable of both physical and psychological manipulation. The Hatman may well be able to oppress those it comes in contact with, seeming to lend credence to this theory. The Hatman also seems to take pleasure in the terror he causes, and witnesses have reported the feeling that the Hatman is somehow feeding off of their fear. Other witnesses have reported that the Hatman sometimes has glowing red eyes or black, featureless, solid eyes. Others have said that the Hatman is a fallen angel or an angel of death, and that he comes just before a death. So that's just something I wanted to read up on, basically giving anyone who hasn't seen the Hatman, because I know he's real, and there's been several other accounts all around the world of people that have seen him and know that this evil entity exists. So, I just wanted to read that and give anyone who hasn't seen the Hatman just a brief breakdown on who he is and what he looks like or appears to be. So, what I'm getting at with all of this is actually a personal story, and I just want to go ahead and tell you guys, I've seen evil entities several times in my life. I've seen the Hatman a total of 3 times, but I've seen shadow people a total of 4 times. And the 4th time, I'm actually not sure if what I saw was the hatman specifically, but I know that what I saw the 4th time, which I'm about to get into, was definitely an evil entity. So, like I said, go back and watch my other videos if you don't know what I'm talking about. I gave all of my stories of the times that I saw the hatman in those videos. So, my husband Freak and I, we moved out of the house that I saw the hatman in, the house that we lived in Florida. We moved out of there. We moved out of that house, and when I saw the hatman in that house, I mentioned this in my previous video, but when I saw him, he took one big step out of the bedroom at the end of the hallway and turned and looked at me, and I couldn't see his face. It was a featureless face. All it was black. He had his top hat or fedora, a trench coat, and what looked like huge, boots. But like I said, this is all just a big black mass, about 7 feet tall. So he took one huge step out of his bedroom at the end of the hallway and turned slowly and looked straight at me. I couldn't see his face, but I could feel his expression, if that makes any sense. I could feel his expression, and it was definitely had evil intentions with me. I don't know what it is about me, but this hatman, could not stand me. Probably still can't stand me. Because I was, sexually assaulted by this thing when I was pregnant. I was raped. And then later on, down the line, I had more things that happened to me physically that involved the hatman. That I really don't want to get into too much, but just know that it happened. And after my son was born, when he started talking, he actually told me several times, "Mommy, there's a man in my room and he wants to hurt you." And I knew there was no one in my apartment, and this is after the house, so I knew there was no one in my apartment. And later on, I was physically harmed, and I believe that it did have a lot to do with this evil entity. Anyways, fast forwarding. So my husband and I, we moved out of that house. We moved into an apartment where we had more paranormal experiences, and then later moved out of that apartment into another apartment. And it was in this apartment that something really scary that still haunts me to this day occurred. And this is the moment that I saw another evil entity that had the same presence as the hatman and gave me the same feeling that the hatman gave me when I saw him. We moved in, we started fighting a lot. Like, we were on the brink of divorce pretty much. And he ended up like moving out and then moving back in, moving out, moving back in. And then one time when he moved back in, we were arguing back and forth, like extremely hard, like just calling each other awful names and awful things. And whatever this was, I think it fed off of all of that negativity. And I went into my room, I went to sleep, I pulled the covers over me, and Freak, my husband, he's asleep in the living room on the couch where I threw him. And I'm pulling the covers over me, and as I looked up, and this huge 7 foot tall, just as the hatman was about 7 foot tall, this huge 7 foot tall black mass took a huge step and then turned and slowly looked at me as I'm laying on my bed putting my covers on. And then he just stared at me, and I'm staring back at him, and then he slowly smiled, this evil smile, and his top row of teeth and bottom row of teeth were all like little pointed daggers. Every single one of them, they were sharp little daggers, and his face was paper white. I mean, paper white and wrinkly. But this time, this is why I'm not sure if this was the Hatman or not. This thing that I was staring at did not have a hat on, did not have a hat, and was revealing his face. This could have been the Hatman, like, revealing his face. I don't know. I have no idea. And I still ask myself that question every day. But this thing scared me so bad, slowly smiling at me with these little pointed daggers and the bluest eyes I've ever seen. And many accounts, people that have seen the Hatman said that he had like red eyes, but this thing had blue eyes. So that's why I'm really not sure if that was the Hatman. I don't know. What do you guys think? So then, after, time went on, my husband and I we split up for 2 years. After we split up for 2 years, I mean, I still had a lot of negativity. I mean, during the time that we were split up, I still had a lot of negativity in my life, but I didn't feel the evil presence as much. But I'm pretty sure he was still with me. And I didn't see anything during that time period that was supernatural or any evil entities. And honestly, to this point, sometimes I feel him like around, but like in this present like time, but not often. I mean, I feel like it's subsided a whole lot. But there have been so many, I mean, I can tell you guys so many paranormal stories that I've experienced, and I can even, read paranormal stories offline. But this is just something that I felt like I needed to talk about, because I don't know what that was. And it still blows my mind that even happened. And like I said, I was physically assaulted by this thing. So... and I'm pretty sure that the Hatman feeds off of negativity. And just as the article said, the Hatman just feeds off of negativity. So the best advice I would have to give to anyone is, if you don't want the Hatman to manifest in your life, try to stay as positive as possible and just take care of yourself and try to just ward off, anything evil in your life, because this thing can hurt you. Believe me, from my experience, he can hurt you, because he hurt me. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you like this video or any of my videos, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great